So I decided to make a video about this article that popped up on my Google feed. It's from the great Charlie Munger. Stop complaining, says billionaire investor Charlie Munger. Everybody's 5 times better off than they used to be. Now, the title should tell you right there where this may be going. I haven't read this yet, but you should know where we're going with this. So you have, like, as I told you guys in a previous video, you have people who believe that working a 9 to 5 is so miserable. You can't make money. You can't live a certain lifestyle. But the problem is that you all make a lot more money than your parents, your great grandparents, your great great parents, blah blah blah, or your ancestors, whatever the hell you want to call it. And this is coming from a black man. All right, so I just want to throw that out there. The truth of the matter is that, yeah, most of you guys don't live in New York City like I do, where your cost of living fucking pretty much eats up a lot of your income. Yet I'm still in the low 6-figure range. I'm at 110, but I'm able to survive just fine, pay my rent. Do I want to pay this enormous amount of rent? No. Can I go buy a house right now? Yeah, but just not a good time to buy right now, because over here in New York, I can't just put $10,000 down and, be able to get a mortgage that makes sense. Honestly, even, I'm actually lying here. If you think about it, if my mortgage was 3 grand, at living here in New York City, if you kind of think about it, rent prices are only going up. You're talking about, you got rents in New York City, like in Manhattan, you're paying fucking like 7,000 for a 2 bedroom, or even sometimes a 1 bedroom, depending on where the fuck you're at. All right. So even with that type of mortgage in New York, I'm still winning, because then I would most likely be below, what, these landlords are renting to renters, So in that regards, like, I get it when people talk about, like, well, it costs of living. Well, here we go again, where I say that you want to become entrepreneurs, and you don't want to go to school, and you don't want to get a good job. Nobody says for you. Like, I don't understand. Like, when you went to college, did you just think that, hey, I'm gonna go be a slave? No, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I get a good job, make some money, then I can invest on something on the side. I'm not fucking Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. I didn't create these giant tech ideas, and that's why I'm a billionaire. No, I'm not. And that's not to say that I don't strive for more, but I live in reality. And if I didn't think of how to create an iPhone, or like the Microsofts, or like the .com era, what the fuck? Like, who do you, and I'm not knocking nobody. It's okay to dream. It's okay to think that you're great. But if you didn't already start thinking of these things, you like, it's not going to come to you. Jobs, Gates, all this was in their mind already. It just took them a while to get to it. But let me get into the article. So he says everybody is 5 times better off than they used to be. That's what Charlie Munger says. Billionaire Charlie Munger thinks we should be a lot happier. Munger, the longtime investment partner and friend to fellow billionaire Warren Buffett, says he doesn't understand why people today aren't more content with what they have, especially compared to harder times throughout history. Well, Charles, I'll tell you right now. The reason why people are complaining and they're not content is because they spend more than they actually make. Okay, in my previous video, I showed you, there was a Durango with no license plate on it, and I'm pretty sure they just bought it, or there was one of these fucking, what's the word they use for, so YouTube doesn't hurt me, these criminals. Like, criminal is a good word. I'll just say criminal. But yeah, you're out here buying these, and you're probably buying them overpriced. Buying a damn Durango that costs you $50,000, and it's just a RT. It's not even an SRT. 50,000, 60,000, and it doesn't even have it's not even a Hellcat or SRT engine. So that's just ridiculous to me. But let's continue. People are less happy about the state of affairs than they were when things were way tougher, Munger said earlier this year at the annual meeting at the Daily Journal, the newspaper company where he's a director. Okay, look, I didn't know none of that crap. Okay, and holy shit, Charlie Munger is 98. The man is still alive and well, and just dropping game on you. The 98-year-old noted that he came of age in the 1930s when Americans everywhere were struggling. It's weird for somebody my age because I was in the middle of the Great Depression when the hardship was unbelievable. Now, I will say this, right? Charlie is right. Okay, the hardship was incredible during the Great Depression, but at the same time, Charlie, you are a billionaire in this times, and even though prices and inflation and all that, everything may be up, it still doesn't hurt him like it would the normal everyday person. But he still has a point where things have not gotten as bad as the Great Depression, yet people complain. So he is correct in that. I just for context wise, Charlie's a billionaire, so he doesn't really get affected by it, but he understands the ethic. And when I say ethic, it's like you're complaining about maybe making $60,000 a year, and you, I don't know what your rent is in New York. So maybe you got a studio or whatever, and you're renting it for $2,000, $1,800 a month. You still should be fine, okay? Because the reality is, most people in New York City do not need a car, okay? You want a car, and that's the kicker, and we'll get to that later on. During that annual meeting, Munger complained that envy is a driving factor for too many people today. Before the early 1800s, there were thousands of years where life was pretty brutal, short, limited in what you have. There was no printing press, no air conditioning, no modern medicine, he said. If nothing else, Munger's sense of widespread envy in today's world might be right on the money. Recent studies show that roughly 75% of people are envious of someone else in any given year. Okay, again, this goes back to my point about people spending more than what they earn. See, you got the people that are like making $60,000 out here, trying to compete with somebody that's not in their tax bracket, okay? Or even somebody in their tax bracket, right? So for instance, I make $60,000 a year. If that was the case, say I make $60,000. Why would I be competing with somebody who makes $60,000? If that person who makes $60,000 comes out of nowhere and buys a fucking, and this is before the prices have gotten insane. Say they bought a $45,000 Scat Pack. Why would I even why would I compete with that? Just think about it right here, right? This is pre-tax. The person makes $60,000 a year, buys a $45,000 car, right? So you take that away from, and that's just their net worth. Say that their net worth is just their company salary, $60,000. If I just bought a $45,000 Scat Pack, guess what? My net worth is only 15 grand. So that doesn't even take away like the rent and everything. Is that financially smart? But no, you people are envious. You're envious that somebody would go buy a Scat Pack. Oh, damn, I make that same amount of money. I deserve a Scat Pack. No, the fuck you don't. You deserve to be smarter with your money. But, you can't tell a lot of you people this type of shit because you don't want to hear it. You believe that you only live once, you should live it to the fullest and blah, 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 all of this shit. Look, truth of the matter is, yeah, everyone's going to die. You don't know the time you're going to die. But look, bro, I'm not thinking about, I can die tomorrow, so I'm going to live for today. No, I'm just going to try to live as long as possible and be smart about it, because if you don't die that next day and you live into your 70s and you didn't make the right decision, most people will tell you like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to regret it. Yes, you will, motherfucker, because you're in your 70s and you can't afford shit. You couldn't afford shit when you were younger. Now you really can't afford shit when you're old and shitting and you got a diaper on, all right? So cut the bullshit. Social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are especially effective at sparking feelings of envy or jealousy, often connecting us with people who only offer highly curated peeks into the positive development in their lives. Social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are especially effective at sparking feelings of envy or jealousy, often connecting us with people who only offer highly curated peeks into the positive developments in their life. The biggest thing the reality is people have always envied and wanted other things before social media. Look, social media has sensationalized it a lot more, but the reality is it's just always been people. It's a human nature thing at the same time, but you're out, like, let's look at back in the days. Wall Street, and even today, Wall Street's synonymous with money, right? Those who work on Wall Street, you think they have money, blah, blah, blah. You want that lifestyle. You want the Ferraris. You want all of the fast cars. You want the big house. You want all of those things that currently, or just, and truthfully, you just probably would never see that type of money. And that's just the reality of it, okay? And people, you can say whatever you want to say. No one's born to do this, blah, 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 blah. Everyone has a role to play, and there are people who will awaken that, and there are people who won't awaken that. Everybody has the potential to do great things, but as your personality develops and your habits or whatever it is, you're destined not to get to that point. So that's just the truth of the matter there. At the meeting, Munger points into the work of Harvard psychologist Steven Pinker, who has argued that the quality of life around the world has improved dramatically over the past century or two, citing evidence such as longer life expectancies and reduced global poverty. Critics of Pinker's work say his views are overly simplified and ignorant of negative aspects of modern life, from growing wealth inequality to the ongoing existence of violence and political instability, factors that can still cause real suffering. In 2019, Munger downplayed the effects of wealth and income inequality and claimed that the politicians who were screaming about it are idiots. Some politicians like Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren have called for tax increases on the ultra-wealthy in recent years. Munger and his estimated net worth of $2.2 billion would likely be subject to those increases. The billionaire has expressed, wait a minute. Let me just go back to that too. Is capitalism flawless? No. People need to fucking understand that capitalism isn't flawless. It is a system. It is an ism, just like the rest of the isms, okay? But I'll tell you one thing. I'd rather live in capitalism than any other ism. And I'm going to tell you why. See, in capitalism, you do always need a bottom, okay? The truth of the matter is you need people at the bottom to do the work so the people at the top can continue to live a great life. But there are tiers to that, right? There are tiers to this bottom. You have the people who are the minimum wage worker, okay? Then you have the mid-level. Then you have, let's say, senior management. Then you have those above, okay? Everybody has a role to play, but here's the kicker with capitalism. You can be the minimum wage, and by working hard, you can get out of that. But the problem is majority of people want to be in the minimum wage. People don't want to work hard. They don't want to get out of that. My whole thing is as I said in the previous videos, I work a 9 to 5. It doesn't mean I'm not working on my own company on the side, because who said that you have to just work a 9 to 5? Okay, and people who work a 9 to 5 work 7 days a week. So if I work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, say that's just how it is. Like I answer emails on the weekend, but I work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, now I'm working on my side hustle. Or even after I get out of work, during Monday to Friday, I'm working on my side hustle. I'm working just as much as an entrepreneur work, except I'm balancing how costs. I have a dedicated salary, insurance, where I get to invest that into my company and not have to worry about those other things, and an investment for retirement. So if I grew my wealth and I became a millionaire, right? Why the fuck do I feel like, and I gotta stop cursing, maybe because YouTube will stop monetizing me, but I gotta file mouth. But why would I want to be taxed more just because I've built some wealth? Okay, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would I want to be taxed more? Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, you guys, look, congressmen and congresswomen live good lives. Don't let them fucking fool you. All right, they have good salaries. They don't have to work all year. Just gotta stop the bullshit. Let's continue. The billionaire has expressed skepticism about higher taxes on the wealthy in the past, even arguing last year that some inequality is a necessary aspect of a free market economy. What did I just say? It's a part of it. There's a bottom, a middle, maybe mid to top, and then there's the top, maybe. But that's how it's structured. The people who are in the six figures, from me to people above in the high six figures, they're not hurting. I'll tell you that for sure. Okay? Now, granted, do we all think about it? It's like, yeah, I got to work my whole life. Guess what? Everybody has to work your whole life, even entrepreneurs. So that's just stupid. You know what I mean? To think that there aren't levels to this ism. At the Daily Journal's annual meeting this year, he added that most people's concerns over wealth inequality and criticisms of the extremely wealthy were motivated by envy. Very true. I can't change the fact that a lot of people are very unhappy and feel very abused after everything's improved by about 600% because there's still somebody who has more, Munger said. Does this continue? Where the fuck is continuing? Okay. All right, so Charlie Munger is correct, okay? People will always be jealous of somebody who has more than them, okay? Like again, I have told you guys before, I'm a black man, all right? You want to talk about envy? Well, in the hood where I grew up at, you want to talk about envy. You know why people kill each other more in the hood? Because most people, and I'm not talking about the innocent ones, just in case somebody wants to try to refute that. Most people, if you're dealing drugs or you're doing something illegal, or even if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're doing better, those who don't, they will envy, they will want what you have. So they will try to take what you have. That is the mind state, okay? But even those who may be working a 9 to 5 and, like I said, make 60,000, they'll be jealous of the person that makes 80,000 because they can afford to do more things, but may not understand financially what that person is doing, right? For instance, in my last video, you guys see I drive an Acura ILX. No big deal. I am going to trade it in because I'm transitioning to the new age, which is electric, but I'm going hybrid first. I'm not going to go full electric. Why? I have nowhere to fucking charge it. That's just number one. That's the truth of the matter is I don't sugarcoat in this 9 to 5 lifestyle, but I'll be getting a hybrid sedan, most likely a Honda Accord hybrid, and driving that motherfucker. You want to know why? Because guess what? I am smart with my money. Just because, again, I make good money doesn't mean that I go buy a BMW, a Lexus, a Mercedes. I don't need that shit. First of all, let me tell you what I'm not going to get. I'm not going to get the design, the brand name, maybe a few extra luxuries like, what's that shit? It's like the stupid color that you have in your car, like, the illumination in there. Okay, I won't have that. Mercedes, for instance, they put massage seats. I'm not going to have massage seats. But you know what I would have? I'll have the standard luxury. Apple CarPlay, keyless entries, digital cluster, heated and cooled seats, a lot of touchless things, start my car from my phone, stuff like that. All things that I would enjoy. And then I would have the reliability. What am I missing by not getting those cars? A status? See, that's the problem with you all, with not, a lot of generations. That's the problem. Status is the biggest thing to you. But see, most people don't realize when you have money, you don't have to show that you have money at the same time. Okay? I knew a guy. I used to work with him back when I was still young. I was working construction for a little bit before I transitioned into my field, and this guy was making 200 plus a year. He was a site safety manager, and if you're in New York City and you know what that is, those guys make fucking bank, make like 90 to 100 plus dollars an hour because safety is so important that they get paid the big bucks, and it's a hard test to take to get certified by the Department of Buildings to do this. Okay. Guy was making that much money, but you know what he wore all the time? I always saw him wearing this. He wore construction boots, okay? He wore the same light blue pants and like a raggedy ass shirt, okay? Do you know what kind of car he drove? A Chevy Malibu. I forgot the fuck. This is like 2017. Maybe 2016, 2018. I don't remember. But his name is Pat. Okay? Pat drove a Chevy fucking Malibu. And the guy was making 200 plus a year. Could he afford something way nicer? Say, yes, the fuck he could. Did he think that he should go and do it? No, he didn't. His Malibu made him happy. Malibu drove just fine, got him to work, got him back home in Long Island where he lived at. What the fuck do you people think? Like, this is the thing. But it's majority of the time it's people who it's not even who don't have money, it's the people who don't know how to manage their money who complain the most. You make poor decisions, and don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting on a high horse. In another video, I'll show you my credit, but that's my credit. My credit's probably like at a six. I think I'm at a 683 or 85 right now. Okay, I closed some accounts recently, and I'm pretty sure that that's gonna drop my score. But you have to understand, I'm not speaking from some high horse. I had shit credit because I was making poor financial decisions. Because as I told you before, I grew up in the hood, so I didn't know nothing about financial literacy. Okay, poor decisions all day long. So I fucked my credit up so badly. The last 2 or 3 years, I've been fixing my credit. Now I'm just waiting for all the negative shit just to fall off. So that's like a 7-year thing. So besides that, I don't spend my money foolishly. Okay. I closed like 2 cards because I have new cards with way higher limits, and I use them to go shopping, and I pay them shits right back off. I have an account dedicated to bills where I transfer my money to that account, my bills get automatically taken out. And then my credit cards I pay directly because they're linked to my bank account. That's about it. Okay? But see, the problem is Charlie Munger is correct. Because you all complain, but you just don't know how to manage money. Those, if you took a business class, or if you go on YouTube, you'll learn what wants and needs are. It's real simple. You don't need half the shit that you buy. You want it, okay? I tell you right now, I own probably a few pairs of sneakers. Would think I wear 2 of them are the main ones that I wear. The rest I wear shoes because when I wear my suit, I wear shoes. But when you're talking about tennis shoes, I have about 2 that I wear often, and they're white. And I put them in a washing machine because when they get dirty, nothing like bleach and some in a washing machine and some soap, bingo, cleans the shit right off. My wardrobe, I don't really have a wardrobe for regular day. I mean, I may have like a few outfits, that's about it. But other than that, I wear suits, and it, you get the idea. My money doesn't go to clothing and all that because they're irrelevant. They don't define my income and everything. But you people, all you, is a status thing, whether it be your wives or your girlfriends with their bags, or you men who want to dress just like these women and have the most expensive thing on, and you want to talk about, well, it's fashion if you don't have a fashion system, blah, blah, blah. Shut the hell up. You just make poor financial decisions, okay? You're out here making $40,000 a year with a $700 Gucci belt. You tell me who's smart. I got mine from one of the African guys in the hood. It cost me $5. Shit's been sturdy and it lasts me a long time, and I wear it with $300 suits. See, my suits are probably the most expensive things, and not even $1,000. They're just $300 suits. So they're not even high tier, but they get the job done. So yeah, I spend more money on suits than I would do regular clothes. Why? Because my suits there's a difference with going into a business meeting wearing a nice suit versus wearing my everyday clothes trying to impress people who don't even make anywhere in my tax bracket. You understand what I'm saying? So I thought that this would be a good article just to talk about, like, when it comes to the 9-to-5 lifestyle. You have to understand, and I'm going to make another video in regards to what do you need to do as a 9-to-5er to just set yourself up, just to be comfortable. And this would work for any state. I'm in New York, and I'm telling you this. But again, you have to take advantage of what you have and make it work. You people are just unhappy with what you got. And even if you want more, you don't want to work hard as well. You just want to complain about your company. If the company is so bad, take your skills and go find another company that's going to appreciate you and work your way up there. If not, then the problem is you. All right? That's just the reality of it.